And it's like, to touch on that, the core concept of when we first started this podcast, like we said, like the concept of like what was kind of like our mission is to be able to take that person that's kind of stuck in this place in their life, whether it be a job or they're locate their hometown and they have no really any direction to go. They don't have that person that can help pull them out. Well, we have people like that in our community that have gotten to get on a call with a 9-figure entrepreneur and ask them a question. Like we literally had, I think we started hosting like new member welcome calls where all the new members, like once a week, like they can come on a call and ask questions about their membership. And so with on literally one of the calls, a guy, like he didn't have any questions. He just wanted to come and say thank you. He's from like South Africa, and he jumped on that calls with James Keys, the 7-Eleven CEO. And he literally was, he asked him a question because the guy, he said, I'm pretty much set up to go work a blue collar job for the rest of my life. And James Key's advice to him was just like, hey, like you should really invest more into your education if that's the route you don't want to go. And so the guy applied to like economic school, like in another country, like the next day.
Crazy.
And he's like, I would have never done that if I would have never joined your community and hopped on that call with that connection. So it's just been really cool to see like just people from all over the world getting to kind of like I told you about the guy from Germany earlier, who was like just like, I mean, you could tell in the call the kid like he's starting out. It's fresh. He's talking to a 9-figure entrepreneur, Andy Elliott. And it's wild to see. So it's been some of the cool things that we've been able to do in our community so far.
It's interesting. Like one of the things I always think about is that all advice is a form of nostalgia. Because you're always talking to a previous version of yourself that went through that pain.
Oh, yeah.
And like nostalgia, it's like a Greek word, means like the pain from an old wound, like the pain from the past. And one of my core values and one of the core values of my team was be who you needed. And I always, like what I love about your story is like you guys have just become who you needed. Like when you guys were in Washington, D.C., you didn't have access to network, you didn't have access to business mentors, you didn't have access to that collaboration. So you guys have gone out on a journey to solve the problem that you had for yourself, and now you can share that with other people. And that's what entrepreneurship is.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the beautiful part of business where it's like you actually you're solving problems for people, and you guys have found a way to do that at scale.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like growing up, I mean, you know, in the Washington, D.C. area, like I'd always just go around to like the, you know, super wealthy neighborhoods. I mean, and I'd just be like, man, what do those people do for a living to be able to drive a car like this or to live in this type of house? Like what are they doing that, you know, my family's not doing, that I'm not doing? Because clearly they're doing something different. And I feel like, I don't know, with what we do now, we've kind of just manifested like that type of career path where we literally go up and ask these people how they were actually able to go out and attain those things. And I feel like one of the biggest things that I've kind of learned along this journey is that people think that others aren't willing to help